You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
And a very good evening to everyone who's tuning in tonight. Thank you to everyone who has found this channel in the last 24 hours or so. Thank you for everyone who's liked the video already without me doing a single thing. Also, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you for helping me get to 280 subscribers this evening. And it's a pleasure to have on this next guest onto the show. When I came across this particular band and this particular group, I found a great connection because I believe, you know, you're from the origins are from right here in Manchester. Of course, this show is from Manchester, and of course, it was from the origins of Wythenshawe as well. It's only down the road, not too far from here. So this is a great treat to have someone literally nearby from where this band formed from. So if you don't know already who the band is, then let me tell you who it is. It's Slaughter and the Dogs, and it's a pleasure to have on this great guest onto the show. Welcome everyone to my guest, Wayne. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Edward?
I'm feeling fine, thank you. Now, of course, you know, it's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you so much for accepting to be on the show tonight. What intrigued you to accept my invite? I'm curious from your side of things when you got the notification that I was interested in having you on the show this evening.
Well, I heard that you were a Manc,
Yes.
first of all. So that's Manc power.
Yes.
So you understand my accent, my ways, and it's just great to be here and have a bit of a moment where we can have a chat about things, and so that's cool.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, you're a fellow Manc, and it's not very often I get to welcome any Mancunians onto the show because usually I speak to a lot of southern people from other bands or even Liverpoolians as well. I had a few Liverpoolians on the show as well, so it's good to have. It's good to have someone in our hometown for a change. So yeah, no Liverpool talk tonight, as I'm happy about.
No. Otherwise, I'll send Roy Keane after you.
Yeah. So I take it you're a United fan.
The one and only.
Good.
I was born and bred at home. I wasn't born in a hospital. I was born in Pythefall Road in Withington, in a home. And when the midwife smacked my arse, I didn't cry. I went, United!
Yes.
That's what they say.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I'm a true red. True red.
Absolutely. Well, that's something else we've got in common. Not only are we both Mancunians, but we both loved the football club Manchester United, even though at the moment they're not very good, but hopefully the glory days will come back soon, I hope.
I think so. I like it, we have to build. There's so much criticism about United at the moment, and it really, like, you know, it's not cool because everybody wants the same standards as Sir Alex gave, and we're not going to get that. That's a defo. We are not going to get that. So we have to build, and I think the new team that we've got starting this year, I really believe that we can do something with it. It's not going to be. We're not going to be number one at the end of this season.
No.
I don't think. I'd love it, but I don't think so. But let's say in 3 years we'll re-talk about it. I think we just need time to build.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody.
Yeah, I get that. But do you think, as at the moment, do you think we might get relegated down to the Championship at the end of the season?
No. That's you know, old wives' tales. You know what I mean? We'll pull through. Believe you me. We'll start winning more and more games, etc. We might not even. I mean, I'd love us to be European, and I want us to be European next year. But if we're not, it's not all that bad. Honestly, it's to be honest with you, it's like it's We got to build. We have to build, and to build, you just can't say, because you've got money and this and that and all the rest of it, that you're going to be great. I mean, look at like I can't even say that word, but the other team from
Oh
Manchester.
yeah, I know you
Um,
mean
I'm not
now.
talking about Stop. I'm not talking about Stockport County.
No.
The other one,
Yeah.
right? What it took them a long time. You know what I mean? They had loads and loads of money plowed into them, and it took them time before they started to achieve what they achieved. And you know, hats off to them on that. But United, we want everything today or yesterday.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It has to be. We have to have results all the time, and it's to be honest, like I don't think it's a good thing.
No, no, I agree.
Uh,
I agree with you. I think that the fans are too demanding, not just here in the UK, but across the world because of how big and how expensive the club is nowadays.
Manchester United is the greatest club in the world.
Yeah,
That is a fact,
yeah,
right? Nobody can deny that. I mean, whether they want to invent things or whatever, blah, 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 they can do what they want, say what they want. It's okay. But Manchester United are the greatest club in football history. I shit you not. Sorry about my French, but that's how I feel.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
like to be honest with you, it's like for me, you can't just like wipe everything away and say, "Oh, we want the same results that what we had before." You're not going to get that in modern day football, right? Everybody, if you don't have results, Sir Alex, he had over 2.5 years when he started, and he was criticised, and everybody wanted him out, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, right? And at the end of the day, to be honest with you, is like I was talking to a friend of mine about a month ago, and like, of course, he's a Scouser and he's got no brain. Oh, actually, no, he's not a real Scouser. He's from Wigan, right? And he lives in France, just next door to me. He's my age and everything, so we have a good laugh about football and all the rest of
Yeah,
it. But we're talking about something, and I was like, whatever happens, the greatest football world is the English Premier League. It gives top football, right? And there's no time in this modern day world for taking time. And that's a bad thing. It really is a bad thing. So, it is what it is. So
it
I
is.
just hope that I like my fingers are crossed, and like I go up to the church and light a candle now and again, or I'll go to the synagogue and say a prayer and basically um, pray that we pull through. But
Yeah.
I think to be like I said before, I think we will stay in the Premier League. We won't get demoted or anything like that. No, no.
Good insight. Good insight there. Let's go on to
Again,
about the band. Because I think next year, you'll be going into, over 50 years. So, does it feel that long ago?
it's a well. There's a correction there because the band exists this year. It'll be the 50th year this year.
Yes, yes, 50th year
Uh,
this year. But does it still feel that long ago though? Because I'm sure 50 years away flew by for you guys. But I mean, does it feel that old? That long ago? Not old, but long ago. Sorry.
well, I've had a pretty fulfilled life, kind of. So I've had like five lives,
Yeah,
to be honest with you. It's like I've been married, divorced 5 times, etc. So it's each marriage is different. The band has always continued, whether it be with certain musicians or not,
yeah,
etc. But I've always tried to, how can I say, I've always tried to like prevail honesty towards the music, towards the fans. That's important for me. But yeah, like when you look back at it, this is I got like it's not going to be a scoop, but this will be my last year. Um, I'm gonna be stopping slaughtering the dogs this year. This year will be our real last year. This will not be.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear you now. Oh, is it me? I think you can hear me, but I can't hear you now. I don't know if you've done something to your audio. Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
This year.
Yep,
So
this year. Yep, yep.
so it's I mean like 50 years after 50 years. I mean like you can't basically in today's world believe solidly believe in punk rockers who are 60, 70, 75 years old, who have private houses, who have cars and things like that. And they say the kids are united or whatever, blah blah blah. We're with the people. Uh, I just think it's a load of bull, to be honest with you. They're all bourgeois today. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fellow groups
Yeah.
who started the punk era and all that. It's just that in today's world, uh, when you see a 65-year-old, 70-year-old punk rocker, as they say, saying, you know, get it together and all that, anti this and anti that, be anti-constitutional, and they're not. It's all about, it's all about the money, and that's it. And because I'm honest, and they don't like that,
No.
the people um, around me who are fellow musicians, bands, and all that, they say, "Oh, Wayne, it's like he's firing up his arse, his own arse, kind of thing." I'm not. I'm not. I'm like I'm being honest. I mean, like I'm still playing music. Don't get me wrong on that, and I will still perform, but I won't be performing punk rock anymore. I think the to be our age and try and do something under the name of the ticket of punk is ridiculous. It's just not right. There's so many good bands, young bands today that we should be listening to, and we're not. I mean, when you see the poster of Rebellion. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Darren or Jenny and the people who work very hard at Blackpool, which I know there's volunteers and all that, and it brings a lot of money in commercially speaking, hotels, restaurants, and all that. That's okay, but don't try and say that it's punk rock because it's anything but punk rock. Because the meaning of punk rock is to be a social travailist, is to be somebody down to earth, a council kid, somebody who's been walked on by governments, etc. And these people who are performing, they're all flying first class. They're all like uh, rich,
Yeah.
etc. And they're using this word punk. It's like, just say you're rock and rollers,
Mm.
and we'll call you a new version of the Rolling Stones and take it as it is. You know what I mean? But don't use the word punk because there's too many young bands who have a punk attitude in today's world. For me, um, that need promotion and love and support. I mean, don't be like if don't go and see like old people play if you want to hear something new, because you won't. You'll just hear memorabilias and things like that, you know. So it's for me that's what's happened to punk. That's why this year, like flogging the dead horse is
Yeah,
like a no go for me.
that's understandable. And I guess there may be many people out there thinking, okay, well, I want to come and see you if this is the last time you'll be performing punk. What can people expect when you go out on the roads of the UK and beyond this year? Then,
Well, I won't play. I won't. Unfortunately, I have a lot of friends in the UK. A lot of friends in the UK, but I won't play in the UK because of the Brexit thing. Uh, I played one gig because I was obliged to by
yeah,
contract. I had to do that gig. But when Brexit came through, I said to myself, England is no longer a country of music lovers and music people. Music people should like congregate throughout the four corners of the world. We shouldn't be sector. We shouldn't be like saying to people, you can't come in, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's rules, you know. I mean, what did we do in 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80? What did we do when we created punk? We created like a ginormous blockage of the system which we've been living in for the last 40, 50 years about the record companies and all that. We created independent record companies. We created independent music. We did what we wanted. And if they didn't like it, well, sweet FA, you know. Um, for me, it was important. It was important. So in today's world, when you see a country that like my grandfather, like he fought for a free Europe, a free world where people could express themselves and be happy. His brothers, sorry, they fought in the Second World War to have a free Europe. And then you have this closure of like saying, "Oh no, that's it." No, England is not. It's not right for me. It's not right. England doesn't have the right to choose whether it wants to be independent or not. It's taken enough out of other countries for many, many centuries, and now it wants to change the rules. No, no, no. Pay your debts first, and then you can talk about it.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you haven't. Yeah.
That's a good.
So,
That's a good way of looking at things, I guess. So I guess if there's anybody outside of the UK then who are a fan of you and the band, where will you be hopefully playing in front of? Because I'm sure many people would love to know that.
well, look. I might be doing it in my new hometown. Well, my new. I've been here for 40 odd years now, but I think it's going to be in Lyon.
Ah,
It
yes,
looks like it's
Leon.
going
That's
to.
a great town, great city.
Yeah. I mean, I've been living here since 1979. So I've got three places uh, that I'm working with,
Yeah,
and we're negotiating about how to go about it because it's not going to be just like a 50-minute show. It's going to be like 2 hours 15 minutes. I'm going to go through all the songs that we recorded, etc. So it's going to be around about 2 hours 15 minutes, the show. So we'll see what happens with that. But so it's in negotiation at the moment. So I can't say too much about it
that's fine.
because we're still
Yeah,
working on the promotion and the organization. about the concert.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun.
Oh,
It's going to definitely.
absolutely. It's going to be a great time. And I think,
Yeah.
I don't think there should be a limit to how long you decide to perform for, So I think how long you decide to perform for at these shows, I'm sure the fans are going to love it. And I'm sure they're going to be, missed as well. You're going to be missed once you stop playing these great songs from the past and the newer ones you've been releasing over the past couple of years as well. And as was mentioned as well, to everyone who's tuning in, that they can find out more information about these dates when they drop on the official band's Facebook or Instagram page as well. So make sure you check out, of course, Slaughter and the Dogs UK official Facebook page, and
No,
of
no,
course,
no, no, not UK. Not UK. It's our one. You've got to be careful
there's so many,
because
isn't there? There's always different
yeah,
ones.
there's so many, and there's a guy going around saying he's the manager of the band, all that kind of
Yeah.
like bullshit. So I don't want to get into that
No, no, you're fine
because
because it is the right one
he bores me.
because you guys have shared
Yeah,
it,
he
so that's
bores.
good.
Yeah. It's just becomes a bit boring at the end of the day. Gives him importance to something that he isn't. It has nothing to do with it. But anyway, so yeah, so it's my show,
Yes,
my
your show.
Slaughter and the Dog show. Is most places we're looking at the most probably the end of May,
Right.
beginning of June. Um, so we've got a few months ahead of us
Yeah.
to work on it. So I think it'd be good.
I think
Not
it's going to be
bragging, but I
great.
think it'll be
I think
good.
it's going to be better than good. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of people going to be turning up to the events once they're announced.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Slaughter of like when I s- like when I was at school and I started the band at
Yeah.
the beginning. Um, well, I'm talking like 70, 74, 75. When the band got together, uh, we only did it basically to get out of school lessons, to be honest, because our music teacher, Mr. Howarth, in the day, he said, if you learn a musical instrument, you can get out of regular lessons. And I'm
Ah.
like what? And he said, well, you'll be doing about 70% of music. And I'm like, right on. I want that.
And who'd have
So,
thought back then that all these years later you're doing it as a full-time job?
yeah. I never thought well, kind of like I did and I didn't. Like most kids, when you're young, especially when you grow up in areas like Wythenshawe,
Yeah.
hard areas, there's not much hope.
Mm.
Unfortunately, in my day,
Yeah.
you know, they put us in a comprehensive school, and like everybody who went into that school were basically kicked out of other schools and injected into that.
Yeah.
So it was like all the rough kids, social problems, etc. So it was a bit weird. So when when we did get the opportunity of starting the band, that was good. It was a way out. It was that or football or breaking into a post office or a bank, basically, to get out of Wythenshawe. They were your options, you
Yeah.
know. You didn't have anything else. It was you had to make yourself seen, kind
Mm.
of, you know.
No, I know what you
The
mean,
only way
but
was through that was,
I
Mm.
guess when you guys took off, like when you knew that you could make a career out of this, I'm sure you guys were inspirations in moving short to say, well, if these guys can do something and become big, then that might give hope to other children and kids growing up in that area. Think that, well, okay, well, that gives me a bit of hope that I can also get out of this state I'm in.
It does, and I know for a fact that um, I had my headmaster many years later. He asked me if I had gone into the school before the school closed down, and if I'd give a kind of a moral kind of speech that
I
you
like that.
know because he's like, oh, you're a musician and
Yeah.
you've done something with your life and
Yeah.
all that. And I was like, all I could remember is when he, I got a convocation. Uh, there was Mick, my old guitarist, myself, and a guy called David Pendergast, and we'd been doing stupid stuff and all that. And we was in his office, and he said to us, and I always remember this. He said, "You three will end up either in prison, on the dole, or dead down an alley with a needle in your arm."
Oh wow.
I shit you not. That's what he said, and it was the best thing in a certain way that I'd ever heard in my life because it was an electric shock to me. It like I'm like, no way, I'm gonna make something out of myself.
Yeah.
Whether it be music, football, or some whatever, right? I'm gonna like or business or whatever.
Mm.
I want to do something. I'm not gonna just accept what he just said to me.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Michael about that afterwards, and he was in agreement with me. Said, he's like, no headmaster, teacher should be allowed to say things like that to a
Yeah.
pupil.
Yeah.
It was, but that was the day.
Mm.
I'm talking late '60s, early '70s, etc. When corporal punishment was still accepted,
Yeah.
and
But I
yeah,
guess I guess you guys proved him wrong as well.
well, yes, we did, and that's what made me laugh when he asked me to go back to the school to give a moral speech to, and I was like, yeah, okay. First thing, don't listen to that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah,
yeah,
he just
it's
talks absolute nonsense. He wants to.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
It was
well,
it was kind of weird, but it was truthful. And
did he remember saying that to you, by the way? When did you, when he sent you that invitation, did he
he
remember that
looked he
conversation?
looked at me. I was in the Sharston pub, which was just next to the Sharston High School, the
Yeah.
school where we used to go to. And I'd gone to see two of my mates, and we were constantly between Manchester and London. But I always try to stay fidel with my mates in Manchester, and they asked me to go to have a drink, and lo and behold, he was in that pub. He came in, and he's like, "Oh, Wayne, how are you?" and all that, and I'm like, "You two-faced,
Yeah. Yeah, you two-faced person, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I was like, oh man, it's like, but it's like, but the good thing is like what Slaughter did uh for future groups,
Mm.
uh I think was good, you know, because I spoke to Manny from the Roses,
Yeah.
and he was well into Slaughter, and a lot of bands were into Slaughter, so we did give a kind of like a ticket, to say, bands can come out of Manchester and play
Yeah, I
and
think
perform and all that.
that Manchester is a great place to launch bands and be able to actually get out to the world from Manchester with all these fantastic bands. But I want to mention about what we discussed before we came live here tonight, about your album as well, which I've been given
Oh,
the graphic for. So could you talk to me about firstly the graphic art? I love it.
well,
It's very
yeah.
eye catchy, and I just want to know who's inspired that, and also as well the name
Well,
of
that's
the.
that's the old out. That's basically um, the guy. The guy is an artist from California called Adam.
Shout out Adam.
I'll tell you, Adam. What's his name, Aaron? Adam Circle. And he's a really, really good artist. Uh, and he's based between Florida and LA. But I think he's in Florida now. Um, so yeah, but he's a cool dude. He's a really cool dude. And I sent him the album,
Yeah.
and he said, he's like, oh, Wayne, it really sounds like the old stuff. And I said, well, that's what I want. I said, I want the Do It Dog style kind of head. What do you see?
Yeah.
So he came back and he did a great bit of artwork on it. I mean, like I really like it.
No,
It's
it's
like,
really good. I do
um,
as well. I think
yeah,
it makes you eye catchy and makes you stop and look as well, which is perfect.
yeah.
It's what you want.
It has that green
Yeah.
that we like to use.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, an album design is really, really important. I mean, I worked with a guy who worked with Roger Dean
Oh yeah.
many years ago, the guy who did the Yes albums and all that. And when somebody goes into a record shop, the first thing they do is they get attracted by the cover before anything else. It's the number one. And I know that Do It Dog Style. I mean, like Michael hated it. He absolutely hated the cover. And he still hates it today. The last time I saw him in 2016, we
Yeah.
did an interview in the US, and he said once again, he said it was horrible, hated it. And I'm like, no, it's absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a great cover, and well, it's his opinion,
Of
etc.
course, but yeah.
But I thought it was an eye catcher,
Mm.
and everybody that I spoke to over the years, spoken to, sorry, over the years, they've all said the same thing. They said, "Oh, the cover, right, is the main attraction of Do It Dog Style." Then you start listening to the music, and then you get into it, etc. But it really is excuse me, it is an eye opener.
Yeah.
So the new album, when when Adam proposed this cover, I was in heaven, kind of. I was just like, I hope, excuse me, I hope that my writing, my songwriting, um, because I wrote the whole album, produced it, and mixed it, 100%. Um, and I did that over. It was quite funny actually because uh, I know a lot of people. I mean, I lost my dad through COVID and all that. But COVID kind of helped me in a kind of a weird way because it gave me studio time, free studio time. Afterwards, I could negotiate for the mixes and all that. And the musicians that I wanted, they were free because they weren't working with other musicians
Yeah.
because of the COVID thing. So it kind of opened the COVID kind of like in a weird kind of way opened a lot of doors, which was quite interesting actually, to be honest with you, with on that. But it was good because I could do the album and how I wanted it to be, and I wanted it. I didn't want to do a carbon copy of Do It Dog Style, but I wanted to do a kind of like a kid ambience kind of like punk rock on the
Yeah.
streets kind of thing, like you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You start your song and it's over and done with. There's no messages apart from maybe Silent Cities, but the other songs are just basic punk rock songs, and that's it. It's but I'm really happy. I really am happy about it. So yeah, so it was an achievement. Hard because at the COVID time, all the doors were closed
Yeah.
at the same time. So I was going into the studio. I couldn't go in the studio with more than three people. Now, when you're a band with an engineer and all the rest of it, you can. So it was pretty hard at that time to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was liberating because uh, too many minds, the saying, too many cooks spoil the broth
Mm.
kind of thing. So I'd have the engineer, myself, and the musician in the studio, so I could portray my ideology that I had for the song, the bass lines or the guitar parts or whatever, and it was kind of mano a mano, apart from the engineer who was there. But that was a good thing actually, rather than have the whole band chitter chatting and
That's cool. That's cool.
you know.
Just
But
quickly before we end this, I just wanted to get your thoughts in anything you would like to mention, which I might not have mentioned or got incorrect. So I'll give you your floor. You've got a minute.
I would okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me first of
No,
all.
you're welcome. Thank you so again for
Um,
accepting my invite.
it's great. It's great to chat. My first thoughts are towards um, Noel Kay, my ex drummer, who passed away a few years back. There's not a day that I don't think of him. Uh, Secondly, I think, and I want to thank Dinny Delaz, John Pierre Tully, my oldest bassist that I've had in the band, and Martin Pellissier, my guitarist, for staying with me. Knowing that I wanted to stop the band, but they're still by my side, everything. I want to thank my wife, Erin, for all the support and the help that she's given over the years. And the last and final thank you has to be to every single fan of Slaughtering the Dogs throughout 50 years who have come to the shows, who have supported us.
Oh, that was it. I guess that was the time I had with my guest tonight, and he was saying, supporting us, supporting each and every one of the band and himself, and I can't thank Wayne enough for coming on the show this evening. I hope he will come back on. If he wants to come back on the show, he's more welcome to come back on the show anytime. That's just the wrapping up of the time there. So much appreciated for Wayne's time. I know that on the social media, he joined the meeting an hour ago because of the time difference. So we do apologise for the inconvenience of that. But I think it was a great chat, a great conversation with him, and I look forward to seeing the 50th anniversary of Wayne's life in the band, his celebration, and see what's next down the road for him. But I want to thank everyone who's tuned in tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Make sure to smash that like button, share the video around, tell everybody about Wayne and Slaughter and the Dogs. Make sure to check out the shows once they're announced later this year, and make sure you check them out because, again, it's the last time he's going to be performing punk in this 50th anniversary of the band. And I hope that you will subscribe to the channel. Help me to get to 300 subscribers. We've got now officially, according to this, when I last looked about an hour ago, hopefully nobody's unsubscribed. I can understand why if you have. Which is now 280 subscribers. So make sure you do smash that subscribe button if you're new here. And I hope to see you all in the next episode, which will not be that long to wait for. But until then, enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening.